Hello YouTube and everyone else who's watching this from prior medias. So you ever had the sorry about the blur. You ever had the urge to wake up one morning and just research stupid things about whatever you like or just things for knowledge for no good reason? Yeah, I'm probably a weird person, kind of do that a lot. So so this morning I kind of woke up and I had a notification about a Warhammer thing on YouTube. I'm not gonna say what it was or anything, but it had me thinking. You know how big Warhammer is, right? And I know there's a bunch of things in Warhammer lore, stories, and stuff that are it could be deemed true or weird or whatever, and it's pretty much eyes of the beholder at that point. But what I did what I want to do in this video is kind of weird, and most people I want to talk about I want to talk about stuff in the Imperium and Man, and it's pretty much it's going to be three races in the game, or three humanoids in the game, or in the lore. Two of them technically exist. One of them was never confirmed, and I just want to go over them real quick. And I just want y'all's opinion about it. This is pretty much a conversation starter video. I hope you understand that. But other than that, let's begin. So we all know the Imperial Man. It's pretty much it was a big godlike dude named the Emperor of Mankind. Made a bunch of generic sons. Pretty much people made for something. Made a bunch of super soldiers that they were supposed to be commanders of. The Chaos Gods took the Primarchs, threw them across the realm, and then we had like the Great Crusade to retrieve them and bring a bunch of lost colonies under control of men, of the Emperor and everything. And you had the Horse Herring Soups up there. So what this video is going to be about is pretty much some of the stuff that the Black Library, the game, and like stuff, pretty much anything that involves Warhammer is reference that exists but doesn't get a lot of love. In my opinion, sorry, I got hiccups. But let's just talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is in 40k there's a group of mutant humans, I guess you call them, but they're called the squats. Squats. I don't know. I can't pronounce it. As SQA. It's supposed to be SQUATS. It's pretty much they're like space dwarves and everything. So in the early days of Warhammer 40k, in first edition and second edition, there was the squats. Now according to the lore, the squats were a bunch of dwarfs on a planet that were, even though they were 3 foot men average, and I'm basing that on like estimates of what real dwarves are nowadays. These guys were extremely powerful, extremely smart, and pretty much what you think from dwarves from fantasy stuff. And if these guys are so small but can take out people who are 8 feet tall like nothing, or they have to upgrade their weapons and their armor and everything just to fight these guys, it kind of proves the point. So in the early days of the game, I had to look it up. Like I've been trying to keep this all accurate as possible. I do have a hard time reading, so keep that in mind. But during the early days of the game, you could actually play with the squads. So pretty much how it worked was squads were like a backup unit for the Imperial Navy or the Space Marine chapter. They're like a little backup thing they had. It was like you really wasn't the whole army. There's pretty much you can say, oh, I play Space Marines and I have these dwarves as a backup unit, and that's pretty much like the whole tag team thing rule. But so apparently they exist all the way up till second edition of the game, and apparently I think GW. Wait, I read it was GW doesn't want people to keep supporting something they didn't want to support, and so they just pretty much when third edition came around, they introduced the Tyranids, and apparently that was pretty much the mass human population, the first massive human population that got eaten by the Tyranids. So there's a few of them left, not enough to make a force out of now, but they technically still do exist in the lore. In which, like, that's what the this is weird to me because you have all these abstract human. You have the Ogren that are pretty much giant Goliath guys with incredible strength and bruteness, but they are just dumb as heck. And I'm sorry if I'm using that wrong. Then you have what's another one? The Ratland. I think they were like they're just humans that act like rats. They like to do what rats do: eat, multiply like crap. Multiply like their own Viagra and steroids, and eat some more. That's pretty much what they do. And you have a couple of human strains that I don't think really work out. There is another one we'll be talking about later, but I just want to do it. But it's just like you guys has this army has so much support in the early days, and there's still support for it now, but there's no rules for it. There's nothing for it, and I think you should use more love. Heck, it should at least come back. You guys bring back sisters, and I do support sisters because I do like their tanks and their leader. But if you guys can bring back the sisters, you can bring back the dwarves, okay? And you can just you gotta make them for like 40k. You can make them like a kill team exclusive. But that's just my views on it. You gotta really take it to heart. So another thing is when we get to it, okay. So this goes back before 40k became 40k, and it's back to the game where it was known as Rogue Trader. So I couldn't get a lot of information on Rogue Trader because there's apparently not a lot out there. But how Rogue Trader was, you picked one of the factions. So you had the Imperial Man, you had an Eldar, and all that stuff, right? So pretty much you had your basic orcs, chaos, Eldar, and like all this other stuff. So apparently to how Rogue Trader worked was you pretty much you picked a human, then you picked a sex, then you just put a bunch of points into it. It gets something out of it. So apparently you got the whole female space marine thing back in Rogue Trader, which you pretty much pick. Okay, here's a female. I'm just going to upgrade it to a space marine. That's how Rogue Trader. Then 40k came out and everything. Then you just scrapped that. So back in the early days of the internet, I can't pinpoint the actual date and everything. I was trying to find the story, not the actual article. But the early days of the internet, probably in the 90s or 80s or something, there was something that popped up on Games Workshop website that talked about a female-only Space Marine chapter, and it was kind of taken away and everything. So before I tell you what I think about it, this is what it's supposed to be like. So according to the lore, women can't get, females can't get the Space Marine organs, like make themselves bigger, taller, be able to spit acid, stuff like that, night vision. Because apparently what they said in the lore is that the organs can't coexist with a female body. They're only made for male bodies and everything. And that's the whole thing behind it. Sisters of Battle, if you're wondering, Sisters of Battle don't have these organs. They're just pretty much straight women. They're just straight normal humans with powerful armor like the Space Marines have. So it's like that. So when it goes back to like the organs and everything, the organs were, so anyone who knows anything about biology and everything, organs doesn't really, makeup of, no matter if it's male or female, an organ is pretty much a stuff that can possibly exist in another body. It's just the body has to accept it and everything. So pretty much for you to say that a male organ can exist in a female body, it's impossible. That's technically a lie. Because I know there's surgeries where they had to put a heart of a male into a female body, and it came out alive because the body accepted the organ. But for you to say that the female body cannot accept a space when these genetic mutation, the genetic increase organs, it's kind of stupid. But back to what I was trying to say about it was, so I don't know if you guys ever heard of these things, but they're things companies do call baiting, and how baiting works in some company, well in every company. Instead of them saying, hey, we posted this, they're going to pretty much say, okay, hey, you over there in that cubicle in the corner, you are going on our website that we own, and we're going to tell you to post this thing for whatever reason. Then you're going to then we're going to delete it. That's how it's going to work. That's a build up around. Now, how baiting works is that the company, like I said, the company will tell someone that they're either friends with or someone within the office that no one knows about real much, and they'll tell you, hey, we need you to post this and everything to raise like a curiosity or something, like, because how most baiting works, like a lot of games do baiting and everything. So what you do is they will say something that, oh, there's this in the game, there's that in the game, there's this, that, probably a sack of treasure somewhere in real life. They'll do that to see if you can do it, see if you can invest enough into it to find information on it. Okay, that's really how some things works. And we gotta do is pretty much, you gotta find out who posted it. Then you can you gotta just trace it back. Did they work for them? Are they friends with someone? It's all that stuff. It's pretty much how baiting works. And I believe that's how what they did for the female Space Marine stuff was they baited all their fans into thinking there's a female Space Marine army. There probably is, and they probably don't want to do it. They just want to go waste money trying to research it, which is pretty genius, but it's still dumb. And the last thing I want to talk to you about, and I brought this up with my friends. I did more research on it this morning while I was looking up for this video. So And the when it came to the abhuman genes or the mutants of the Imperium, I found a while back. I found there's actually cat people, mostly cat females or cat girls, in 40k. And how that works is that they exist, but they have no rules. There's no support from. There's really nothing. There's books in the lore that tells you books and like the codex, the lore, and everything that clearly hints at these things existing. So I did some digging, and I don't know how accurate this is. Don't quote me on it. But apparently, when it comes to 40k, there is cat girls in 40k, and though apparently how it works is that throughout all the world of the Imperium, there's only one world that they exist on, and it's an extremely rare birth rate. On the world that is mostly a rumor defect, I guess. And according to what some sources said, I don't, like I said, I don't know how accurate they are. They said the mutation is just so rare that both of your parents could be a cat person and you can still be born a pure human with no DNA traits or anything. It's like the whole ginger thing. It's a trait that every white person has, but most of the time it just stays dormant until it finds a suitable body, I guess. And that's how it works with the cat girls. It's pretty much your parents can both be a cat girl. You'd be born a pure human, but apparently two or three generations later, it will repair itself. So, but according to what they say about the cat girls, that they're mostly in the Imperial Guard. They're just mostly commanders or something, or like the second in command. They wear special outfits to hide all their characteristics. Though pretty much what they do have though is like increased flexibility and a really good sensory, like almost psychic sensory in it. But they don't really keep but they don't want no one to know about them because apparently it's like a valuable but rare mutation that they're trying to keep under lock and key. It's pretty much like enough and lie almost. It's born contain it. That's pretty much how they treat it, which is kind of weird and everything. I wish I could. I wish I should have saved the sources for these. I'm sorry about that. I didn't think about that until now. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. I hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think and maybe future topic I should probably talk about when it comes to 40k or any game really. But other than that, have a nice day and yeah, peace.